Hello and welcome to all of the honorable audience in today's discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, first off, let me to express my thankful and respect for your attendance, participation, and amazing spirit. Today, my dad is guiding you into the deepest point of today's discussion, as well as encouraging you to think critically about the specific and controversial issues in our society, of course. We're also going to provide you with some interesting facts on both sides of the issue. For now, please take a look at this picture. If you guess it is a zoo, yes, you are right. It is a zoo. Over the years, zoos are becoming more and more popular as the perfect place to learn about animals and have fun with friends or family. I assume that most of you might have been visit zoos several or many times so far. But what zoos really are? Zoos is short for zoological park. Zoos are confined space in which animals are kept for three main reasons. The first one is entertainment, conservation, education, and research program.
The earliest known zoos date back to 3500 BCE in Egypt. These early zoos were just a way for kings to flex on other kings. Modern type of zoo was firstly introduced to public in 18th century. Today, there are over than 700 million people who come to the zoos every year. According to Associations of Zoos and Aquariums, AZA, in 2022, there are over than 10,000 zoos and aquariums situated across the world, and 239 of them are officially accredited by AZA. Most of the accredited zoos and aquariums are located in the US and Canada. The rest of them are located in Mexico. Based on petpedia.co, there are over than 6 million animals. They are spread in 10,000 zoos all over the world, or 20% of total animals populations. These days, the existence of zoos are quite controversial. Some people assume that zoos are beneficial for both humans and animals. First, zoos provide safe environments for endangered animals, and the zoos provide access to humans to learn more about diversity. However, other people against these assumptions. They think imprisoning animals in cages is cruel. Zoos prioritize the interests of humans over animals. Zoos are not intended to preserving animals from extinctions, but more likely used to humans' benefits. To address this issue, today we are going to be having a discussions on whether zoos do more harm than good or not, and should them be banned. Based on this issue, we've decided our positions in today's discussions. My name is Luh Putu Gayatri, and today I'm going to be presenting the reasons why zoo shouldn't be banned. And my friend Ocha Paula Sari is going to be presenting the reasons why zoo should be banned.
Zoos are bad place for animals. Animals are suffer in zoos because of bad treatment and small place. Zoos have their problems. Not all zoos are created equal. Some are clean and well-staged, others are not. There are some in the richest cities in the world, and there are some in conflict zones. What this means is that not all zoos have the resource to properly care for the animals they host. And for many critics, no amount of education or research justifies keeping animals captive. That captivity can be really bad for both physical and psychological health. And while zoos have been really helpful in saving injured animals, it doesn't work out for certain species. For example, most large carnivores like lions and tigers that are bred in captivity die, and when released into the wild, it turns out that they haven't developed the natural behaviors they need when they are out on their own and have to fend for themselves. There are some data that I have get to back up my statement. No matter how dedicated a zoo is, they can meet the space requirements for most of their animals. Animals such as lions, elephants, and tigers don't get even close to 1% of the area they roam in the world. They normally find themselves locked in cage and only released into an artificial habitat when there are visitors at the zoo. On top of that, the animals don't have much freedom even in this tiny space that they are forced to live in. Even if the animals are being fed well, the lack of freedom can cause them to be stressed. For example, the typical enclosure design for a polar bear is about 1,000,000 times smaller than its natural roaming grounds. This can make the animals neurotic, causing them to start beating, bars, pacing repetitively, and swaying.
First off, I totally disagree that all zoos should be banned. In my view, there's no reasons for zoos to be banned. I also insist that zoos are a bad place for animals and animals are suffering in there. In fact, zoos are a perfect and a safe place for poor animals. They are in the brink of extinctions. Zoos save endangered species by bringing them into a safe artificial environment where they are protected from habitat loss, predators, starvations, and illegal hunting. In zoos, animals are very well treated. According to the statement of Associations of Zoos and Aquariums, AZA, their organization has undergone string evaluations by recognized experts to ensure the highest standard of animal management and care, including living environments, social groupings, health, and nutrition. That indicates all zoos under ACA supervision are highly reliable in providing good care to the animals. Animals get suitable food, habitats, and treatments. In addition to that, both accredited and uncredited zoos are regulated by the Federal Animal Welfare Act, which establishes standards for animal care. To sum up, if animals are in zoo, they are in good hands. So try their best to create environments that are similar to their natural habits. Even zoos prevent animals from extinctions. Many zoos all over the world also have captive breeding programs for endangered animals in order to prevent their extinctions. Then the offspring of the endangered animals will be introduced into the wild. In the wild, the species might have trouble finding mates and breeding. By giving this kind of extent, the sustainability of endangered species will be maintained. Captive breeding program is not only a moot point, it really works. Take California condor as an example. Back in 1880, there were only 22 of them living in the wild, and because of breeding programs that zoos in San Diego and Los Angeles. Now there are around 400 Californian condors flying free. We also have to thank zoos for still having bisons, the golden lion tamarin, and the red wolf.
No, I don't think so. Most animals in zoos are not endangered, nor are they being prepared for release into natural habitats. In fact, it is nearly impossible to release captive bred animals, including threatened species like elephants, polar bears, gorillas, tiger, and chimpanzee into the wild. Zoos are not breeding animals with the intent of replenishing threatened population. Babies bring visitors through the gates, and captive breeding gives the public a false sense of security about a species' survival. But that belief undermines suffer for and diverts resources from in situ conservation efforts. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Applied Ecology concludes that unless animals in the world are protected, captive breeding won't make a difference. Some zones even kills the surplus animals. A study found that at least 7,500 animals and possible as many as 200,000 in European zoos are surplus at any one time.
I will beg to differ with you. In fact, that kind of practice is becoming more and more less. Surplus animals are no longer put down. They are relocated to sanctuaries. There are some data that I've gathered to back up my statement. According to the Hindu, Sri Chamarajendra Zoological Garden in Mysuru has successfully translocated 52 spot deer that were in surplus in its collections to Arabi Titu Wildlife Sanctuary near the zoo. The Associations of Zoos and Aquariums AZA also says that the practice of killing healthy surplus animals do not happen at AZA accredited zoos and aquariums. Zoos don't abuse animals. On the contrary, they try to protect them. Zoos even encourage people to be more aware about animals. The presidents of animal welfare organizations, Robin Genzert, said people won't protect what they don't love, and they don't love what they don't know. Further, zoos also enrich people's knowledge of diversity and how to protect animals. According to the study of 26 zoos published in Conservation's Biologies, zoo visitors increase their knowledge of different kinds of animals found throughout the world and learn specific actions to protect them.
I don't think so. People can learn about animals from documentaries. On the contrary, I think without zoos, people don't have to worry about not being able to find out information about animals because we can see from documentaries that even important information will be added to the description with the following. This will make the animals will not feel constrained, even though the zoo science has thrived over the past century. Still some things that could be improved. Animals are forced to live in artificial habitats that are not close to their former homes or real life. Their beds can get overcrowded, and this can cause animals to hurt each other. Their life in captivity can be harsh, especially when the animal has been completely removed from its social structure. Limited living space is a big contributor to animal stress and lack of physical stimulation. At the end, I'm still agree that zoos should be banned because of the animals' right.
As far as I know, documentaries are not as effective as having real experience of interacting with animals in zoo. Seeing an animal in person is a much more personal and more memorable experience than seeing that animal in a nature documentaries. Real experience with animals is more likely to develop an empathetic attitude towards animal. On the top of that, over the last 2 years, zoos and aquariums have produced more than 5,000 pieces of papers covering things from animals' diseases, transmissions between humans and animals, and the best way to protect animals, which is actually a really important thing for research programs on zoology. After all, I still believe that all zoos shouldn't be banned. Zoos bring vast amounts of benefits for both the animals and humans. First, zoos are the safest place for endangered animals. Zoos have breeding programs which can save endangered animals from extinctions by restoring their populations. Second, zoos encourage people to start protecting wild animals. And third, zoos are an important part of research programs on zoology.
Right, for the conclusion, in making a case for or against zoos, both sides argue that they are saving animals. Whether or not zoos benefit the animal community, they certainly beneficial for humans in some way. As long as there is demand for them, zoos will continue to exist. Science zoos are likely and inevitability. The best way to move forward is to ensure that zoo conditions are the best possible for the animals that live in captivity and that individuals who violate animals' care health and safety sanctions are not only duly punished.
All right. To all of the honorable audience, that's the end of our discussions today. I hope you're having some new insights about whether zoos shouldn't be banned or should be banned. And thank you so much for listening from the very beginning to the very end. Goodbye and see you next time.
Bye.